What's up guys? It's Jay. Wanted to bring a new series to you guys about Google and give you guys some tips and tricks on how Google can make your life a little bit easier, help your real estate practice, and go through some different things that are going to be beneficial for you. The first thing I want to talk to you about is Google Keep. I don't know if you've heard of Google Keep before or not, but you can think of it as like sticky notes, which everybody's familiar with, but the digital version of those. You can have different color sticky notes. You can do basic things just like simply taking a quick note that you thought about. You can record a note with your voice. You can draw out a note. You can create checklists. You can save pictures. You can edit those pictures. You can do all sorts of things, and it's just kind of a place, as the name implies, for you to keep all that information. And then it's pretty cool because then when you need to go back and find that, you can just search by a keyword that you put in there. And we'll talk about this in a later video, but it can actually search. If you take a picture of text, it can search by the words that are in that picture. So there's some really cool things that you can do. And today I just want to talk to you about one simple thing that I know a lot of us always need, and that's how to create a checklist and what you need to do to create a simple checklist and how you can use that in your everyday real estate business. So first of all, I want to show you how to get to Google Keep if you've never been there before. So you have to have a Google account. Typically people know this as a Gmail account. So if you are logged into your Gmail, you're going to see a screen similar to this. So there's a few different ways that you can go to Google Keep. So there is a little box up here in the top right, has 9 little squares inside of that. If you click on that, you can kind of think of this as your navigation point for all the different Google apps that you might use and all the ones that we're going to talk about in this series. So they might be in a different order when you pop it up, but you can drag them around however you'd like. So I kind of put them in the order that I like to use, but right here is Google Keep. It might be down, if you can't find it, there's a More section, so you might have to scroll down to find that originally if you've never used it, and then just drag it up to the top here. So you could click here to go to Keep. So that's going to pull up a new box here for you. And this is what Keep looks like in its most simplistic form. You have different colored sticky notes as you think about. One can be a simple note, and we're going to talk about how to make a checklist today. And what I would do if this is something you're going to be using is I would bookmark this, and you can go up here and click this little star, and it'll appear, you want to put on the bookmarks bar, and it'll appear up here. So I always, as you can see across the top here, put all my most used websites and apps here in a bookmark bar. From talking with a lot of people, they always wonder, like, how do I find where I need to go? But this is how I do it. I put it in as a bookmark, and I think that's really convenient for you to go to the things you're going to go to every single day. So we're here in Google Keep. And what I did for you, kind of give you an idea with checklists, we're going to do a checklist, a post-listing checklist and a post-ratification checklist. So when you're in those deals, we all go through the same steps over and over again, and it helps us to keep consistent if we're able to check off those things as we go along. Now these lists you can find at elitescoop.com/Google. And right in there, there's going to be a link for a Google Doc that I created for you that you can just copy and paste that in to create your own list. You're going to want to, make up your own list and just kind of use those lists as a basis, because some of the things you might not do, but there's a list of things that you should probably be doing in each of those transactions, and then you can, create additional lists from there. But to simply create a list, there's a couple ways that we can do that. If you click right here, just to kind of give you a little quick tutorial, you can just type in your note here, and it can be something simple. Remind me to call the buyers back. Okay, so that's one way to just create a note in there. You just hit close, and now you can see that note has been created over here. So that's just how simple it is to be able to create a note. But if we want to create a checklist, we're going to click right here for New List. And then you're going to go to elitescoop.com again /Google to get the list that I put on there. And we're going to go to the first one we're going to do is Post-Listing Checklist. And it's going to look just like this right here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is highlight everything in here. And you want to copy it by right-click Copy, or you can do Control-C. And then you're going to go back to Google Keep. You click right in here, you can see the plus signs, that tells you it's a list, and you're going to paste it in there. So right click and paste, or Control V, and now you can see you have a list of all the different items that you need to do. You want to go in here and title it, and we're going to title this Post Listing checklist, and I want you to call it template so that you know this is the one to start from each time. So we're going to close it. And if you want to change the color of it, you just go down to this little color palette here, and we're going to make this blue. So let's say as you go on, you start to get a ton of different notes. And this, in my main Google Keep page, I have thousands and thousands of notes, and it gets hard to find those items, as we do with everything else. So you have the power up here where you can search it. So what you're going to want to do when you create the checklist or the template, just type in template, and all the things that you have the word template in it are going to pull up right in here. So we're going to go into it. And what you want to do once you have a new listing that you want to do, you don't want to start using this one. You want to make a copy of this. So you go down to the 3 buttons here for more, make a copy. And it's going to create a copy, and you immediately want to go in and change it to your client's name. So we're going to call this Post Listing Checklist Joe Smith. And we're going to close that and close that out. And we're going to go back to notes, and now you see you have 2 checklists that you've created here, and you can just go in as you go through your steps and check those off the box. So you just check that and it disappears, and you can kind of see bigger here as you scroll down. It shows you the items that you completed. So let's say I went in and I did my description on Coldwell Banker. I'm going to check that off, and this just really keeps you on track, lets you know what's going on. And one quick thing with the reminders, or with checklists, that's pretty cool, is you need to make sure that you're going back in and looking at these things over and over again. So you want to go down here and create a reminder. So you can click on the little hand here, reminder. We're going to pick a date and time. So in this case, we're going to choose next Wednesday. So I want to be reminded, let's say, every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. So you click on, instead of saying does not repeat, I'm going to say weekly. And now I'm going to get a reminder from Google, typically on my phone, that reminds me to check my checklist to make sure that everything's going good with Joe Smith's transaction. You can create checklists for anything. There's another one in there that you can do the same process for the post ratification. So once you've ratified, all the steps that you need to go through. But I think this is going to be really beneficial for keeping you organized when you're going through a transaction. If you think of any other ideas about Google that you'd like to learn about, send me a message, and I'll get a video made for you guys. Thanks a lot.